These are the 3 exercises that we will be covering: line control, ellipse and circles, mannequins. It's important to do these exercises in order, especially if you haven't mastered it. Man, I wish I knew this earlier. So these are the materials you'll need: paper with a little texture and a felt tip pen. But if you don't have that, plain white printed paper and a ballpoint pen is totally fine, or whatever you have laying around. Don't worry about the materials, the goal is to start practicing. Oh, and one more thing, try and sit with good posture when drawing, unless you want to become a little shrimp. Before we start drawing, let's talk about how to hold your pen. Most people hold it like they're writing close to the tip. The tip? What do you mean, the tip? Now, there's nothing wrong with that. In fact, it's very good for detail work. But when it comes to long drawing session, it can make your hands and wrists really tense and feel tired. But personally, I like to hold my pen slightly higher because it's more relaxing and is great for prolonged drawing sessions. It also gives you looser, flowy lines, which works well with brush pens. The angle of your pen can also matter when you draw, depending on the type of pen you're using. For example, if you're using something like a fineliner, holding it at a 90-degree angle, the ink flow would be much smoother compared to a 45-degree angle. But it's much more comfortable holding a pen at a 45-degree angle because it feels much more natural. So try and balance between ink flow and comfortability to see what suits you. Okay, the first exercise is line quality. This is one of the most important drawing skills because almost everything in drawing starts with lines. The goal of this exercise is not only to achieve straight lines, but consistent lines with confidence. A good way to find your weak spot is draw a dot in the middle, and try drawing straight lines across it in all directions. This helps you learn to control it from every direction. Now, let's talk about line weights. That just means how thin or thick your line is. When drawing, thicker lines can make things feel heavier or darker, and thinner lines can make things feel lighter. Whee! Don't judge me, that was just like, I don't know what it was. And thinner lines can make things feel heavier. Another topic to mention is to avoid scratchy lines, guys. Don't do that. Don't do that, okay? No scratchy lines. I see this happen all the time, especially with beginners. It usually happens when you're unsure, so you keep redrawing lines in the same area over and over and over and over again. Some people think it's fine to draw this way during the sketchy stage, and I don't completely disagree, but personally, I think learning to avoid scratchy lines altogether helps your work look much more professional. Of course, that kind of line confidence takes time to develop, so practice consistently and be patient with yourself, because people can actually see the confidence in your drawings through your lines. Exercise 2 is ellipse and circles. I want to place more emphasis on ellipse because they are used far more often when drawing in perspective. You can still practice circles alongside ellipse if you want to, but in most real drawing situations, especially perspective drawings, ellipse are much more useful. It's actually pretty rare to see a perfect circle unless you're viewing the object straight on, which usually only happen in flat or front-facing drawings. The last exercise that we will cover is how to simplify human anatomy using mannequins and references. Learning anatomy becomes much easier when you know how to break the body down into simple forms. You really only need basic shapes like cylinders and cubes to construct most of the human body. If you want more variety, you can also use spheres. Spheres! I can't say spheres! What's going on? For example, in these mannequin drawings, I used 3 simple forms to represent the head. These are the main shapes you can use to simplify the human body. Spheres for the head, cubes or boxes for the torso and hips, cylinders for the arms and legs. The hands and feet are a bit more complex, so you can simplify them using your own understanding and observation. There are 3 main things I focus on when drawing mannequins. 1. Line of action. The line of action is the main gesture of the pose. It usually represented by a single flowing line that captures the movement and energy of the body. Number 2 is weights. This is where the body's weight is being supported. Understanding weights help make poses feel balanced and believable. Number 3 is center line. The center line runs through the middle of the body from head to toe. It helps you understand the direction of the forms, especially when the body twists or turns. This makes it easier to know what parts of the body should or shouldn't be visible. You can also divide the human body into 4 main sections. These sections lines are usually placed just below the chest, around the crotch area, and right below the knees. This helps simplify proportions and makes the body easier to construct. Thanks for watching guys, I hope this had helped. Bye bye!